I was at the fish market busy selling some crabs to a customer when I turned around and saw this guy stealing our fish. He quickly ran away. I grabbed a stone, aiming it at the thief, but suddenly a guy appeared and it hit him instead. Hey, what was that? Let go of me! Shouldn't you at least apologize? I looked over and the thief was nowhere to be found. The thief's escaped! You should apologize! But the guy just frowned and huffed off. Hi, I'm Serena, and I was brought up here, in this picturesque fishing town. When I was little, I lost Mom and Dad to the sea, so Grandma raised me. We couldn't afford school for me. Instead, I helped Grandma sell fish at the market to make ends meet. But things weren't always easy. Serena, you all right? Yes, I just wish people wouldn't steal. I know. Hopefully it was an extra stinky fish that will give them a tummy ache. That's Edward, my best friend since childhood. Edward's parents are also fishermen, so we naturally bond together and grew up inseparable. Later, Edward and I were busy closing when I heard murmurs and saw Mr. Elbridge, the fishing enforcement officer.
Anyone caught poaching striped bass will be given a hefty fine.
What? You gotta be kidding me! Sir, it's only considered poaching if they were caught out of season, which they're not.
Oh, really? Do you have the legal documentation to overpower my decision? Nope. Thought as much.
He's obviously abusing his power. At home, I told Grandma everything that had happened at the fish market.
I know it's not fair, sweetie, but maybe one day you could study, become an amazing lawyer, and help the local fishermen. I want to help. I can tutor you if you'd like.
That's brilliant! Since then, Edward stayed true to his word and tutored me. He was smart, kind, and so patient in explaining things to me. Time flies, and by the time I turned 13, I had the biggest crush on Edward, but I had no clue how he felt about me.
I'll wash up. In the future, I'll always share the housework with you.
What does he mean by that? Does he also have feelings for me? The next day, when Edward and I were having ice cream, some kids came in and started making fun of me.
Do you know eating too much ice cream makes you fat? Oh, of course you don't, because you don't go to school. Ha. She doesn't need to. She's still far smarter than you'll ever be.
Why did you always stick up for me? Is it because you think of me as a
little sister?
I need to stop daydreaming. He doesn't have those kinds of feelings for me. Then, when I turned 17, something terrible happened. Grandma fell so sick that she passed away. At the funeral, I felt so alone with all the adults around, and Edward was nowhere to be seen. When everything was settled, Uncle Leon said he'd take me to live with his family in the city. I had to tell Edward, but when I got to his house, it was all locked up. So I quickly slid a note with my uncle's address under his door, then left for the city. As soon as we walked into the mansion, Aunt Clara and Rachel were already there, frowning.
Ugh, can you smell rotting fish?
Ew, get yourself some perfume, please.
Enough! You will make Serena feel welcome here. Please prepare a nice room and everything Serena needs.
Uh-oh, not a good start. But then Uncle Leon had to go away for a business trip and asked Aunt Clara to find me a tutor, as he was afraid going to school might be a shock for me. I was so excited to finally study and pursue my lawyer dream. However, all the tutors Aunt Clara found were terrible. I actually had to teach them simple sums. Meanwhile, Aunt Clara showered me with errands to run. Suddenly, I saw a blur of a dog and boy and smash! You idiot! How am I meant to cycle home with an injured knee?
You're hearing this, Rex? How is she gonna cycle back home? Sorry, I'll take you home.
I accepted his offer, mainly because I didn't exactly have much choice. What's your number?
Wow, that was quick.
Stop daydreaming. I need it in case I decide to sue you. The guy, Henry, finally quit fooling around and gave me his number. When we got to the mansion, I caught sight of a familiar figure. Edward! I limped over and looped my arms around him.
Who are you?
Before I could respond, Henry shrugged his shoulders, then left. Edward then told me all about the tragic events that had happened to him.
My father made a bad decision to go dynamite fishing. The Coast Guard caught him, but as he tried to run away, his boat smashed into a reef. We needed to move to the city for his treatment. Luckily, I got a scholarship into college here, so I can study and also care for Dad. I'm so sorry it's taken me this long to find you.
That's okay, I understand. It all sounds terrible.
What about you? So you live in that big mansion now? Is that guy your boyfriend?
Henry? Oh, no. He's just
good because, well, I wanted to tell you that I missed you and I love you, Serena.
But you said I'm just a sister to you.
I was 13. I didn't understand my feelings back then, but I do now. Serena, not having you by my side felt so empty. Will you be my girlfriend?
We started dating and having Edward by my side felt so great. I was complaining about my terrible tutors when Edward suggested he become my tutor instead. That's a great idea. You'll need to prepare an atrocious CV for my aunt to hire you. And it worked.
I don't expect you to get very far with this one. She is rather dumb. What's the deal with you two?
She doesn't like having me here. Halfway through the lesson, Edward got a call from the hospital asking him to pay his dad's bills ASAP before his condition worsened. I was comforting him when Rachel barged in. Serena, go get me some ice.
Oh, hello there.
Get out!
Who's that?
Rachel, my cousin. Edward seemed distracted after that. I guess he was upset about his dad. He told me to continue with my worksheet and went to the bathroom. I finished the work, but Edward still hadn't returned. Was he lost in this massive house or something? I went to look for him and was shocked to see him and Rachel happily laughing together.
Hi, Serena. I was just getting some water.
I ignored Edward and continued studying by myself.
Are you jealous? I was just being polite.
Darn it, he knew I couldn't be mad at him when he smiled at me like that. But as we continued studying, I couldn't fully shake away my uneasy feeling. But the next day, I was waiting to study with Edward when...
Edward won't be coming today.
What? I asked her why, but she just walked off. As she left, I heard her ask the maid to bring fruits to Rachel and her new tutor. Huh? Since when did Rachel have a tutor? Sensing something was up, I sneaked over to Rachel's room and spotted... Edward?
Serena, what are you doing over here?
Oh, is stalking your new hobby now? I looked at Edward, but he just sat still, so I ran off with blurry eyes and an aching heart. Edward tried to call me, but I just ignored it. That night, he texted me and insisted on waiting for me. I wanted to hear him out, but I was still so angry at him.
Serena, please. Your aunt told me I couldn't tutor you anymore and asked me to be Rachel's tutor instead. I need the money for my dad's treatment. I can't turn this amount of money down.
Ugh, my aunt was such a witch!
I'm so sorry. I would much rather be tutoring you. You're the only girl for me, but I can't lose this job. So let's keep our relationship a secret, okay?
This was no big deal, right? It was me he wanted, not Rachel. Edward's birthday soon arrived, and we have a date at this restaurant today. I was excited when my phone buzzed.
Sorry, babe, something's come up. Can't make it. X.
It must have been something super important for him to cancel like that. But on my way home, I passed another restaurant and couldn't believe my eyes. Edward and Rachel were sitting together. Rage swarmed over me, and before I could stop myself, I charged in there. Edward, how could you? Jeez, what's up with you? He's not even your tutor anymore. Ask him how long he's known me for.
I was just your tutor, that's all.
I couldn't believe this, so I stormed off. I felt like such a fool for ever believing his lies. While running in tears, I bumped straight into Henry.
You look like you just got dumped.
It was the straw that broke the camel's back, so I started crying louder.
It's not me. I didn't do anything. Please stop crying. Anything you want, anything. How about the aquarium?
It turns out the aquarium was just what I needed. Watching the fish was so relaxing, and Henry was surprisingly a lot of fun to be around. Your parents must be super easygoing to put up with you.
Nope, my lawyer mom is way opposite.
Oh wow, that's cool. It's my dream to be a lawyer.
Is that so? My school's interviewing for a law foundation course. You should apply.
A law foundation course, huh? Should I give it a try? I arrived home feeling better, but Aunt Clara wouldn't leave me alone with her usual mocking routines.
You spoiled ingrate! Soon you'll be 18 and I can rid my hands of you!
I had enough! So I decided to apply for the foundation program Henry mentioned. It was time to focus on my dream without any further distractions. I studied hard and went to the library for materials. Henry offered to help, and even though I still found him childish sometimes, he was actually quite smart and knew loads about the law. One time, Henry invited me to come watch his debate team. Only when I showed up and spoke to Henry, I saw Edward walk in.
My dad's ill, yet here you are, with him? Serena can go where she pleases.
It's okay, Henry. I got it.
Rachel's just my friend. I love you, not her. I just need to earn enough money. Then I'll end this mess with Rachel for good.
What he did was still hard to accept, but he was in a tough situation. I would be a terrible girlfriend if I didn't support him, right? Despite all this drama, I'd been studying hard, and now it was time for my interview. Only on my way there, I saw a woman yelling at two students.
Watch where you're going, you idiots!
Excuse me, but this is a pedestrian crossing, hence the driver's fault for not stopping.
How dare you speak the law to me, you little girl! Do you know who I am?
But as everyone started buzzing, she had no choice but to drive off.
What happened?
I explained it to him and pointed at the woman's car. He didn't say anything, but seemed quite surprised. We then went to the interview, but when I told the assistant my name, she smiled and said, "You don't need to draw a number. Mrs. Shodden was impressed with your profile, so she wishes to interview you herself. It's best you follow the right procedure." I was a bit confused, but Henry knew better than me. Anyway, I had my interview with someone else, and I passed. Yay! Since then, I studied hard, and Henry helped me a lot. On my first oral exam, he even came along to encourage me. Only, as soon as I stepped into the room, I saw that rude woman standing there. Hang on, she's the judge! Nerves wriggled at me, but I kept calm and nailed the exam. But afterward, she charged over to me. "Don't expect a pass from me, you manipulative girl, seducing my son to get into this college." Huh? Her son? Who? Mom, you can't do that. The exam's recorded. They'll see you're just being prejudiced. I insist you cut ties with this schemer at once. She humiliated me in front of a crowd and tried to smudge my impeccable reputation. No, she didn't. She was just telling the truth. Oh, and that day, I purposely called her in for an interview, but turned out you intervened. And ever since then, this snake was following you everywhere. So end it at once or leave. So this woman is Miss Shodden? And worse still, she's Henry's mom? Suddenly, Henry grabbed my hand and led me out of there. How dare you! You're ungrateful and spoiled! I only adopted you so I had someone to look after me in my old age. But you know what? You'll never be my son! Don't forget to take your meds twice a day. Seeing him talk back to his mother just to defend me, I couldn't help but ask, "Henry, why did you help me so much?" It's because Mom was in the wrong, and seeing you getting pushed around hurts me a lot. Why, Henry? 'Cause I like you a lot. Let me be there for you. Henry, your mom shouldn't have spoken to you like that. But she was only angry because she cares about you. You should talk to her. I really hope things will turn out fine between them. Henry dropped me home, and now all I could think about was his love confession. To be honest, I do have feelings for Henry, but what about Edward? What about our years spent together? Suddenly, I got a text from Edward asking to meet up. I guess it was time to sort this out. While waiting for Edward to order ice cream, I got a message from Henry, saying he was coming to my place for some great news. I asked him to come pick me up instead. This reminds me of our fishing village in summer and getting ice creams at the end of a sweltering day. I love you, Serena. I always cherish our memories together every day. Edward, actually, this isn't working. I think we should stop seeing each other. What? Why? I soon realized that something was wrong with our relationship. I just didn't have the courage to face it. We had a special friendship that I cherished and nurtured, but now I think it's time for me to accept the truth that we're not meant for each other. Bye, Edward. I wish you the best with Rachel. As I stepped out of there, I saw Henry waiting for me, and I instantly felt better. I made up with my mom. She apologized for what she said in her temper, and told me that I would always be her real son. Henry, that's brilliant news! Right then, I got a message from Miss Shodden. Serena, I apologized for my behavior. I am most pleased Henry is getting to know such a righteous lawyer in the making. It looks like everything's falling into place. I arrived home, not expecting to see Rachel in a fit of tears. Mom, make her leave! This is all her fault! How dare you bewitch Edward! He's quit tutoring Rachel, and now my poor Rachel is distraught! I will keep on hiring you awful tutors and see how long it takes until you break. Is that so? So Uncle Leon stopped Rachel's allowance and took Aunt Clara's credit cards off her. He also made them apologize to me. I told him about my foundation placement, and he was so happy for me and offered to rent me an apartment near the college. It's time to live my dream. Now I just had one thing left to do. Take Henry to visit my hometown with me. This place looks familiar to me. I know, I think I came here as a child. Yes, this weird little girl threw a stone at me and then got mad. I suddenly realized Henry was that tourist guy I met when I was 10. Yep, that would be me. Henry seemed surprised, then suddenly pulled me in. I guess some things are just meant to be.
Now would you look at this girl, owning the stage, slaying all the performances. Guess what? That's me. I'm Rita, a talented beauty just like my mom, Demi Grande, the famous singer. Alongside being a dazzling diva, Mom also works as a vocal trainer at my school, the Gloria Rowley Arts Academy. Having the best teachers here to help me perfect all my skills sounds amazing, right? I excel at everything I do, being an MC, dancing, acting, mastering the piano. But still, I knew that none of these would really satisfy my mom. 'Cause there is one not-so-tuneful problem. I'm tone-deaf. At 7, once after I sang my little heart out in a vocal class, the teacher asked my mom when she came to pick me up, Oh, so Rena is really your daughter. What a shame she didn't inherit your voice. She's so off-key, we all had to cover our ears. But besides singing, I can still shine on stage in other ways. For example, being an MC at my mom's new album pre-listening party. Everything was going smoothly, right up until track number 6, when the speakers and screen glitched out. Being the professional I am, I kept the crowd entertained with my charisma and dance moves. Rena, sing us a song too, please! Suddenly, the rest of the audience were nodding in agreement. I hesitated, but then decided to go with it. Just a short one. Can't be that bad. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. The audience started laughing. Oh no, if only Harry Potter could lend me his invisibility cloak right now. Please help! Suddenly, hey, everyone! Sorry for the technical issues. It seems to have affected the sound system also, causing voices distortion. So, not letting you all wait any longer, how about we do an acoustic performance for this next song, in which Ariana and I had the honor to feature with Miss Demi Grande. I assure you won't be able to get this experience anywhere else. The crowd cheers so loud. They must have forgotten about my disastrous performance. Thank God. Everyone was surely enjoying this. I mean, who could blame them? Look at him. My savior. Not Harry Potter, but Brian Willis, the best singer from the vocal department of our academy. At the end of the show, I rushed over to get a photo with Mom, but it seems she was busy. I guess I'd see her at home. That evening, I was in my room looking at video clips from the party when a video of me singing popped up. I scrolled through the comments. So, Demi's beautiful voice was defo not inherited. She can dance and act, but she sure can't sing. Huh? It wouldn't make more sense if Ariana was Demi's daughter. Just then, Mom came in to thank me for the successful event and saw me disheartened by those words. It doesn't matter, Rena. Just enjoy your dancing or anything you like. Singing isn't for everyone. I couldn't get her words out of my head. I was a daughter of a diva, yet I sounded like a frog. No way. They can sing, then this diva's daughter can sing too. So I booked myself in for some online singing lessons, then signed up as the opening solo singer for the Academy's annual concert. As long as I practice hard, then I'd make it, right? Just like how I honed my other skills. Mom saw me practicing and tried to help, but no matter how hard I tried, I always came in at the wrong beat, sang as if I was reading, whispered when it was too low, cracked my voice when it was too high, and screamed out the words. Sweetie, why don't you prepare a dance instead? It's more of your thing. Leave the singing to our vocal department. Ariana will surely nail it. Ugh! Ariana this, Ariana that! I'm your daughter, not her! I must be able to sing! I was looking at the list of registered candidates and feeling nervous. But Brian appeared beside me. Oh, so you want to follow the singing path? If so, I'll always support you. He handed me some materials for basic vocal training. I was thinking about how sweet he was when Ariana and her friends passed by. Oh, so both you and Brian are trying out for the opening solo? Nah, just me, obviously. How could Brian compete against his girl? Ariana is his girl? So Brian didn't like me at all. He was just being polite. Both him and Mom thought I was just a dud and Ariana was the headline act? So I practiced all day and night to prove them wrong. I also posted a short clip of my singing on the forum and said if people voted for me, I'd provide a mega performance full of singing and dancing. The next day, the school announced the top 2 tied opening solo candidates, Ariana and me. I was so excited. But then I heard the murmuring. You voted for her? For real? I just want to see how bad her voice can get. Don't be so mean. She's Miss Grande's daughter. Of course my vote goes to her. Suddenly, Enid, this usually timid girl, appeared and congratulated me. Don't listen to them, Rena. I believe only someone as well-rounded as you deserves to represent Gloria Rowley's Art Academy. Enid's kind words really gave me strength. Now I just had to keep on practicing. I'm so near to the goal now. That weekend was the final rehearsal before the selection round. I was extremely nervous, and this was the first for me to feel this bad on stage. I wasn't as comfortable and confident as I was MC or a dancer. I tremblingly sang, but all I could think of was my itchy throat. I couldn't hit the notes at all. Had I practiced the wrong techniques? No way. I followed all the instructions Brian gave me. If you don't really want to do it, don't push yourself. I just feel a little under the weather today, so I didn't want to push it too hard. Don't worry, I've got a wonderful performance in store for everyone on D-Day. Oh, Brian, where have you been? We need to run over our duet one more time. Ariana again? She must be trying to pick a fight with me. I glumly looked around the auditorium and saw everyone from different departments busily preparing for their amazing performances. They were all passionately practicing. Meanwhile, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. How on earth could I save this performance? I was at my all-time low when Enid appeared next to me. Hey, do you want to team up? I have the vocals and you possess the greatest stage presence. Seeing my confused face, she continued, I've always admired you, and it's really sad to see you like this. We all just want a successful event for our academy, right? I've tried so hard. Everyone, especially my mother, is really looking forward to my performance. I cannot fail. So I agreed to let Enid help me lip sync for the audition. Just for once. I'll recover in time for the real concert anyway. The audition started off great. Enid was backstage singing, and turns out her voice is Taylor Swift level amazing. It's even more soulful than Ariana's. Seeing the crowd's stunned faces, I confidently gave the performance my best shot. But then I suddenly noticed the crowd's confused looks and realized something. Enid had stopped singing. Panicked, I turned on my mic to sing, but my voice came out as an off-key tremble. I sounded terrible, but I managed to finish the song and then rushed backstage. As soon as I stepped backstage, I saw my mom and some of the other students, including Brian and Ariana, gathered around Enid, who was sobbing, saying that her mic broke and that she didn't mean to let me down. Enid, what are you doing here? I can't, Ari. Please forgive me. I can't do it. Even though you're my sister, I can't. What are you talking about? Wait, you two are sisters? Oh, I see. So Ariana teamed up with Enid to sabotage me. I knew I wasn't Ariana's favorite person, but this was low, even for her. Now I was a laughingstock to everyone. It had been a horrible day, so I just wanted to curl up in my room and be left alone. Only, Mom knocked on my door. Sweetie, can we talk? I was too sad to answer, and Mom must have been mad at me, as she didn't try knocking again. I can't blame her. I would too if I was a mom. A tone-deaf daughter like me really embarrassed her. As expected, the next day at school, everyone was buzzing about 3 hot topics. The first one being my lip syncing. Rena can't even sing properly. Her performance was a joke. But she's truly a great dancer. She's better off focusing on that. The second, that they suspected Ariana of being the mastermind who set me up. And the last one was a surprise at how awesome Enid's voice was. That whole morning, I couldn't escape the gossiping. Worse still, clips of my lip syncing were posted online, and now the Academy had been accused of favoritizing a celeb's daughter over talent. I never meant for it to affect my mom and the school's reputation. I know I needed to try and fix this, so I decided to apologize in front of everyone during lunch break. It was my idea to lip sync, and I know it was dumb. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. But before my friends could reply, Enid spoke up. Rena, I didn't mean to blow the lip sync plan. Ariana begged me to, but I refused. It was a completely unintended incident. Please, drop the act. I never asked you to do that. I didn't record our convo because I trusted you. Because you're my sister. But come on, Ariana, you know what you said. Oh, you didn't record it? Then it's a good job I did. Ariana then pulled out her phone and played a video. Why were you lying about the lip syncing? Relax, you should be thanking me for helping you eliminate a rival. I gasped in shock, and so did everyone else. I never thought that sweet, timid Enid could secretly be so conniving. Enid couldn't play innocent anymore, so she broke down and told everything. Okay, I did it, but none of y'all understand what it's like having Ariana for a sister. I have a better voice, but I can't compete with her. She's beautiful and everyone loves her, while I'm always the black sheep. Not to mention my migraine medication made me put on these unlosable weights. So I felt too insecure to stand on stage. I just wanted Ariana to taste failure for once, to feel what I feel. So I used Rena to beat her, but the mic messed up, and I took my chance to put the blame on Ariana instead. Everyone was still trying to process all these shocking revelations when a boy stood up. Voila! Everything is clear. It's just some selfish scheme of one person. GR Arts Academy is full of awesomely talented students. Stop the dumb rumors. Turns out, that guy has been live streaming the whole thing. Now that the case was closed, both Mom and the Academy's credibility was restored. But this drama is still too much for me. I needed a breather. As I listened to the birds chirp around me, I began to feel calmer. But then I saw Ariana coming over. I'm sorry about my sister. It's true I'm a bit jealous of you, but I'm not that spiteful. Jealous? Of me? But you're pretty, have a superstar voice, and everyone in school loves you. How about you, huh? You're beautiful, multi-talented, you can MC, act, and dance. All I can do is sing. Okay, so turns out Ariana isn't as unapproachable as I thought she was? She's actually nice. Maybe I shouldn't have been so quick to judge her. Suddenly, Brian charged over to us with an alarmed look on his face. Calm down, Tiger. I'm not harming your girl. She's all yours now. Your girl?
Why are you here and not at home?
I'm not ready to face Mom just yet. She must hate having a tone-deaf daughter.
Rena, you were wrong for lip syncing, but it's not your fault that you can't sing. Singing isn't something mandatory for all human beings, is it?
But
do you know how proud Miss Grande is of you? She always brags to us about your achievements and plays us your performance videos.
Brian's wise words made me feel a lot better. He was right. I shouldn't have lip-synced. I should have just embraced the things I'm actually good at and just been myself. After talking to Brian, I felt ready to go home and face Mom. Everyone expects me to sing as well as you. And I too honestly thought that if I kept practicing, I'd be able to. But the truth is, I'm just not a singer, and I never will be one. I know you're mad at me, but I can't be like Ariana. I'm so sorry.
Sweetie, I never want you to be anything other than you. I'm so proud of you, and I'm sorry if my actions ever came across differently to you. I wasn't mad at you, at all. I really just wanted to give you a hug last night, but I didn't hear anything from you and thought you might need some time on your own.
So, you're not upset that I'm not a singer?
Of course not, silly. I just want you to be happy and pursue whatever you love.
I'm glad Mom and I had cleared things up, but I couldn't stop thinking about Enid and why she did what she did. So that evening, I texted her. The lip sync was a bad call, but it made me realize that no one's good at everything. We all have our own strengths. Mine isn't singing, but yours is. Your voice is truly angelic, so don't let anything stop you from doing what you love. I'm glad we're okay now. You're right. Being a singer angel doesn't require a stick figure. Thank you, and I'm sorry. I'm relieved that's all sorted. And Enid learned her lesson and now realizes just how amazing she is. I was anxiously waiting backstage for my performance. Luckily, I had Brian by my side to support me, even if he was fussing a bit too much. I'm only the backup dancer. Go check on Ariana. She's the star of the show. I'm not the one on his mind. You're his one and only priority. Hey, he even gave up his chance to sign up for opening performance for you. Huh? You really did that for me? Your priority? Since when?
Yes, since I saw you emceeing on the first day of school.
The rich socialites chilling in their family luxury resort was a sight to behold. Grayson Andrews, the heir of the giant Andrews Corporation, who was just back from his Europe tour, and his sister Veronica was the notorious I want it, I get it girl.
Ahem, this orange is oversweet.
But, miss, this is fresh orange with no added sugar.
Whatever, add some salt or anything, immediately. And bring me a sandwich with the beluga caviar here too.
Yes, miss. You've become some grumpy old lady recently, Ronnie.
Right at that moment, their dad hurriedly walked in, looking urgent.
Kids, I have something serious to tell you. Do you remember our resort in Vietnam that got backlash last month? Is this the case where people were blaming us for harming the environment? It's just some employee's reckless act, and we already cleared it out, right, Dad? That's right. But I've just got the report that the inspectors got involved and the resort's suffering a great loss. I couldn't see it keep sliding like that. So, I've been thinking of sending you to Vietnam to take care of this. Dad, you can count on me!
Vietnam, isn't it?
That's where an idea came to Veronica.
Dad, let me go with Grayson. I could be helpful.
Her dad was considering it for a while and then agreed.
Oh, Vietnam. It's been a hot minute. Of course, I have my own reason to be here again. And this is my reason.
It all started back 4 years ago when Veronica's family gathered at Nam Family's resort on Lunar New Year, Tet holiday. Wow, my friend, see what you're building.
You're right. I bet everyone would love this. Honey, this resort is surely profitable with this design and location. If only we could own one like this.
Meanwhile, 14-year-old Veronica was totally mesmerized by someone else. Right at the moment her eyes caught the sight of Nam, Veronica was sure she met the one.
Oh my, is this what people call love at first sight?
Look at you! The little kid now grew up into a pretty girl, huh? Here's your lucky money!
Instead of lucky money, could you please give me your lucky son?
Everyone burst into laughter at her cheekiness, including Nam. I heard Nam is an excellent student at school. We can't waste talent, right? So, I think I'll offer him a scholarship in America. What do you say? A scholarship in the USA? Surely it's a good opportunity for me.
He turned to see his parents' reaction, and they all nodded encouragingly.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. I'd do my best to pay back your kindness.
But he definitely wasn't the one who enjoyed this the most, as our Veronica's heart was singing with joy, too. So that summer, Nam flew to America with all of the eagerness and excitement about the land of dream. He'd be staying with Mr. Andrews' family for the time being, and enrolled in the same school as Veronica and Grayson. And within the first week at the new school, he already established himself as a genius. It didn't take long for him to top in every single subject, and teachers were satisfied as he was also active in school's activities.
Son, I'm so proud of you.
Cozy as it seemed, the laughter in a warm family dinner didn't shine on the host's son, Grayson.
I'd never heard the proud word from Dad before. Being the heir is not easy, but I tried my best. Why was he always the one outstanding?
After the dinner, when others left, Mrs. Andrews approached Nam. Don't think my husband gave you some compliments that you believe you're above anyone. Remember, you're just a parasite on my husband's kindness.
So Mrs. Andrews didn't like me here. I'd better be careful.
From a corner, Veronica was hearing what her mom said to Nam. Mom's always been hard like that. It's all right, Nam. Be strong. You have me here. And she made sure she'd be anywhere Nam was, and no girls could come near him. Nam, be my boyfriend. Will you?
Ronnie, don't make a scene here.
Aw, did he just call me Ronnie? Everyone, attention! Nam is mine. Don't you dare bother my man. To seal up even more, she stuck a bunch of stickers on his clothes and bag.
Nice tattoo, bro.
It's nonsense. You like it? Then here. Then when Grayson had ran far, he looked down on his hand holding a sticker. Stupid girl. She couldn't design a better one? You think it's the end of how to get Nam's heart plan? Then you underestimate this girl. Nam, I got sunstroke. I'm too weak to walk myself. Take me home. Jeez. Seemed like she'd never run out of tactics, huh?
Wow, tending to your bae this much.
Nam Simplord. The buzzing from the others did bother him, but he didn't want to make a mess as he's indebted to Veronica's family's kindness. And deep down, he found her annoyance kinda cute. Aw, so sweet, man. Maybe he likes me too. And then Grayson ran towards them and cheerfully gave them the good news.
Hey, Dad just won a big contract, and we will dine in Gordon Ramsay's restaurant tonight, guys.
Yay!
Are you sure you're tired?
Ouch! Oh, my head hurts so bad.
Nom, I think I'm gonna faint. Carry me, too.
You wish! I'm gonna be up here forever! Then 3 of them walked side by side, happily chatting, and the schoolyard seemed to be lit up by their cheerful laughter. Everything went smooth like that. Then one day, Veronica woke up to see Nam was packing all his stuff. What are you doing? I'm going back to Vietnam. Why? Has anything happened? Please don't go. Get off me. Then he coldly walked straight out of her house with no more words. Veronica crouched in sadness. Worse still, no matter how hard she tried to contact him, still no replies from Nam. The only news she could update was his family's resort was plunged into crisis. And with a goodwill, Veronica's dad offered to buy the resort with an enormous sum to help them restart their business anew. And for the past 4 years, her heart still wanted no one but Nam, and she'd been waiting desperately for this reunion.
Yo, long time, right, bro?
Hello, stranger. It actually feels good to see them too. If only that hadn't happened, the 3 of us might still be a perfect trio now. Nam couldn't forget the day when the hurtful truth was revealed. It's you who schemed against our resort? But why?
Huh, you should ask why your father had that impeccable resort that makes me want it to be mine. Thanks anyway.
I'm gonna tell Mr. Andrews.
Suit yourself. But remember, 2 families are working together on a project. Let's see. If we withdraw, who knows? Your family will go bankrupt.
Do you really want that?
Huh?
Nam felt rage boiling up his body, but so did the powerless feeling. Right at that moment, he saw Veronica went home and immediately clanged to her mom. Mom, there's a new spa downtown. Does it speak mother-daughter time to you?
Of course, hon. Anything you want.
They're all the same. Spoiled rich socialites who think they're above everyone. And right in that minute, he realized that he couldn't be here any longer. Xin chào, Nam. How you doing? Do you miss me? But Nam just coldly turned to the other direction.
Seems like someone just got ignored.
And seems like someone wants a death note. That's fine, he's just being shy. I'd be staying in Vietnam for a while and definitely make him my boyfriend. Nam, you can't run away from me this time. But Nam was such a workaholic, and with Veronica's presence, he's stuck in the office even later. At this rate, how am I supposed to seduce him? There is the only way. After that incident, Nam's family managed to build a small hotel, but attracted a great influx of tourists. That afternoon, Veronica came there, then barged into the office room. Oh, hi! Hello. Hi. Dad told me to go here and learn some business, but Grayson doesn't give me anything. Please let me help you here. What do you want now? Nom just wanted some peace away from Veronica, but things didn't go that way easily.
Come on, son. Do you remember when our family had a hard time? Veronica's family was willing to help us. Help our butt, Dad. If only you knew. Okay, but don't make a mess here.
The day after, Veronica had the first working day at Nom's family's hotel. Mangosteen? We don't have this in America. Hey, you! Bring me more! Hey, guys, can you bring the sunshade here? I'm not wanting to be a burnt squid.
Didn't you tell me you wanted to learn? Get off your butt!
Then Nom gave her loads of errands that she hardly had time to breathe. Geez, I don't need to lift a finger at home, and now I'm folding blankets? The world is getting crazy!
Then she shook off the bedsheet, but somehow the towel covered her head like the one in a ghost story film.
Woo! Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm sexy and I know it.
Little did she know, there was someone who couldn't hide his smile watching her fooling herself.
She hasn't changed much. Hey, what you doing? Do it properly.
Later, Veronica was dragging her aching body back to her family's resort after her first working day.
Oh, I can't feel my hand anymore, and my feet hurt running around.
Stop whining, Ronnie. It's nothing to what I've done today. Planning the strategies, promoting the services, blah, blah, blah.
Grayson turned around to see his sister already sleeping like a log. He gently put the blanket on her when he received a phone call from Mum.
Hi, Mum. I'm doing just fine. No need to worry.
Hey, I heard Nom's family's hotel is doing good, right? But right at the time our resort suffered? Coincidence can't explain this properly. Grayson, I'm sure he planned to get this revenge for the past thing.
I don't think he's that much. Anyway, Mom, you still hate him after those years?
I hate your dad always comparing you with him. This low class will never be on the same level with my son, right? What Mum said didn't stay still in Grayson.
It's true that Dad always regarded him more than me. Even when he's gone back to Vietnam, Dad still talked about Nam being this, Nam being that.
Next morning, Veronica got up and freaked out that she'd overslept for more than 2 hours. When coming to the hotel, she received a glaring look from Nam and a long list of errands that seemed not to end.
Gosh, I have to do this for how long?
Finish it, and we're going out for lunch.
Hearing that, Veronica diligently cleaned every corner of the hotel, making sure no single speck of dust left.
Yay! Let's go for lunch! Huh? But why you're here as well? Happy being the third wheel?
Then they went to a local store selling chicken rice, which was definitely out of Veronica's expectation.
What the heck? Eating on the street? Nom, I don't like this place. I'm sweating like a dog already. Go to some restaurant and treat me with beefsteak.
If you don't like it, then don't eat. No worries. I'm gonna take care of her plate.
Come on. Okay, but you have to feed me.
Feeling others' eyes on him, Nom had no other choice but to act along. At the first spoon, Ronnie didn't expect the taste explosion of the soft and tender chicken, as well as the gravy and rice. She immediately dug in the plate and finished in seconds.
Slow down! No one takes your food.
Then he gently wiped out the rice on her cheek, making her heart skip a beat. Later, Veronica and Nom took a stroll around Han River. You ask about Grayson? Veronica successfully cut the tail and made him stay still in a coffee shop.
Oh, Vietnam summer is definitely like a giant oven. Aha! How about the classic move?
Then Veronica wobbled like a jellyfish, aiming to fall into Nom's arms, but he suddenly walked away, leaving her landing face right on the ground. She scrambled up to see he was already chewing the fat with some random girl over there. Veronica immediately stormed in like a crazy bull towards the girl.
Hey, who are you? I'm Nom's girlfriend. You better stay away from him, or else.
Sorry. See you next time.
Then Nom hastily dragged her away.
What are you doing? She's not the one you could mess around. She's my biggest partner.
Is that so? I'm sorry.
You, go back to work. Right now.
Then Nom caught up with Grayson at a coffee shop by the river.
My sister is a little annoying, right? As her brother, I do apologize to you. She's fine for the most part, but sometimes... Yeah, you know. I don't know what to do with her. There's always an answer for everything, bro.
The next day, Veronica came to Nom and saw him about to go somewhere. And as usual, she insisted going along with him.
Enough! Stop goofing around!
But I like you. You know that.
Right at that moment, a girl walked over to them.
Babe!
Immediately, Nom turned around and pulled her in his arms.
Here you are.
Then he kissed her on the lips.
and Ronnie was frozen in her spot. But I like you. You know that. Right at that moment, a girl walked over to them. Babe! Immediately, Nam turned around and pulled her in his arms. Here you are. Then he kissed her on the lips, and Ronnie was frozen in her spot.
Who is she? I forgot. She's Chi, my girlfriend.
Hello.
What?
You're lying! If you have a girlfriend, I must have known!
Just want to keep my personal life and work life separate. Cryptic much?
Then Nam and his newly announced girlfriend walked off, leaving Veronica behind with a broken heart. But I've liked you first! So my love since I was 14 had withered even before it started to bloom? Turns out I was just fooling myself all this time. That night, Veronica couldn't sleep a wink. It was too painful for her to face the truth, but she couldn't help showing up in Nam's hotel the next day. But little did she expect that since that day, she was everywhere in the hotel and literally clinging to Nam.
Oh, bae, sit down here. You've been wandering in my dreams enough. Your legs might get hurt.
So you come sit here too. I'm afraid I have a serious vitamin D deficiency, 'cause I was far away from you, my only sunshine for the whole night.
And that only made Veronica filling in frustration. And also suspicion.
Say I woke up early to cook for you. My bae needs the most organic and fresh food ever in this world. But he's allergic to peanuts! Oops, is it so? You, cheese, right? It's chi, no ending sound. Whatever. What kind of girlfriend are you not knowing your boyfriend's allergy? How reckless. His face would be seriously swollen like a chipmunk eating that. There must be something off between them. Hey, how did you guys meet?
We met in Dalat.
Right, on a business trip, Thursday, September 21st, last year. It doesn't need to be that detailed, does it?
The next day, Nam's hotel was throwing a small party within the staff. It was fun, but seeing the lovey-dovey couple was only a bug in the eye to Veronica. So she left for some fresh air, and when returning to the main hall, Veronica overheard Chi talking on the phone with somebody.
I got what you want, bae. You're right. This guy Nam has nothing besides being rich. What? So she just used Nam for money? What a snake!
Veronica was about to jump to confront her, but she'd gone away, so she immediately came to find Nam and was excited to expose his so-called girlfriend's real face. But instead, he went blast on her.
You stop your nonsense already! She's a good-natured girl, not some spoiled young lady who insists on having anything she wants.
Are you implying I am that spoiled young lady?
Your words, not mine.
You've gone too far, Nam. I like you, but it doesn't mean you can talk rubbish about me. Okay, fine. I'd leave you alone.
And with that, Veronica ran away, tears streaming down her cheeks.
This is what he's been thinking of me? I've known him for ages, but now he treated me like a thorn in his eye, and even thought ill of me just because of some random girl?
Right then, Chi approached Nam.
Is there something wrong?
Nothing. Anyway, thank you for your cooperation. Seems like she's not gonna be messing anymore.
You're welcome.
And also deliver my thanks to him. His idea is top-notch.
Then Nam left, but he wasn't sure he's happy with what just happened.
Was I too harsh on her?
Early the next morning, Veronica was woken by a knock.
What are you doing here? I remember not making any troubles to you since last night.
Today I will have a trip to Hoi An to build a customized tour for our hotel's customers. Wanna join?
No, I don't want to bother you.
If so, what a pity. I just happen to know a good bang me, Hoi An. But you don't wanna go. It's okay.
Huh? Why didn't you say it sooner? I've always wanted a bite on Hoi An Bang Mai. Sign me in.
By the way, it's bang me, not bang my.
Okay, bang me.
Yeah, that's it.
Later, when they arrived in Hoi An, Ronnie was mesmerized by the medieval grace of this ancient town. The streets of gold and yellow houses were blooming in colorful paper flowers along with vibrant lanterns. Wandering around the town, Ronnie felt a surge of excitement and nostalgia about her country of birth that she parted since she was small.
Aw, this is cute. And here, Ronnie, now we look like twins. Let's take a picture together. Twin my butt? Oh, I almost forgot the real reason I'm going here.
But they came to the Bang Me store to see it was jammed with people queuing. That didn't make Ronnie waver a bit, as the mouth-watering Bang Me was the only thing in her mind now. She had been patiently waiting for her turn for almost 30 minutes. But right then there was a girl with little puppy eyes looking up to her. Ronnie looked at her, then her newly baked Bang Me on her hands, and after a few seconds of hesitation, she gave it to the little girl.
Hey kid, it's now yours.
Huh? What's she doing? Hasn't she been longing for it all this time? Got bored already?
Poof! I just don't want those kids to wait under this scorching heat.
Okay. Go eat under that tree. I'll get you another one. You want some?
Nah, I've eaten enough. Nom's buying bread for me. So sweet.
His kind offer made her heart dance like crazy. Not knowing from afar, she was glaring at her with bullet eyes. Ronnie was happily devouring her bread when she noticed an old woman with the bamboo yoke selling something strange.
What's this?
Bang nhạc to.
Buy it. Yummy, yummy.
It's Vietnamese dragon beard candy.
Candy? So those threads are edible? Buy it for me, Nom.
Bae, only kids like this. But Nom still agreed to get some for Ronnie. She was excited about the strange snacks, maybe too excited that she blew the powder so hard, accidentally getting it all over Chi's face.
What? How dare you? Oops, I'm so sorry, but you look like Snow White. Just a bit of a variation.
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm okay. Super okay. No big deal, sis.
Do I look okay to you?
I think she's not some kind of sweet girl she seems to be. Just wait and see. I'm gonna expose you.
And you know what? If Nom wasn't here, today would be your end. Later that night, Chi secretly went outside to meet someone. How shameless she is! The audacity of her acting flirty with someone having a girlfriend? I'm afraid she would mess up our plan, hun.
If so, we'd better hurry up.
I know what to do. The next morning, seeing no one around, Chi snuck into Nom's office and rummaged everywhere. Gosh, this clean freak! Where would he keep the documents? Then a mysterious drawer in the shelf caught her eyes. She was about to crack it when Nom's assistant walked in.
Hey, what are you doing here? It's not a place you can easily walk in like this.
Then do you know who I am to speak disrespectfully like this? I'm your boss's girlfriend, so I can go to his office whenever I want.
You guys, stop! Miss Mai, you can retreat now.
When the assistant left, Nom looked around his office, now turned upside down for some reason.
Chi, can you tell me what you're doing in my office?
Nothing. I'm just looking for my purse here. And you've just embarrassed me in front of your employee while you're supposed to protect me. Then a big falling out broke between them, and right at the time, Veronica was passing by and heard their lousy arguments.
Ooh, what's this? I said it right. Everyone knows they're not for each other just by looking. See? They're already beefing each other fiercely even before I lay a finger.
Then I had to remind you that you're just my fake girlfriend. Please know the boundary here.
Fine, your fake girlfriend will go. Let me see how you deal with your tail. Isn't the purpose of hiring me to chase off Miss Annoying Veronica? Mind your words. You need me more than you think, sweetie. Veronica was shattered into pieces with the information she just got. So nothing's going on between them for real. But Nom hates me this much? To even hire a nobody to be his girlfriend? Just to get away from me? What did I do wrong? That night, Ronnie was crying to sleep with an aching heart. Days after, she locked herself in a room and buried in blankets with the haunting thoughts she couldn't brush off. Nom texted to ask about Ronnie, but now she didn't want anything to do with him. It was not until Grayson knocked the door that Veronica sluggishly got up.
Ronnie, are you okay?
I'm fine. Just leave me alone.
What do you mean, fine? Look, your eyes are swollen like golf balls. Nom asked me about you. Hey, are you two fighting?
Just go! Ask about me? Drop it. I'd better not trouble Nom no more. Guess I'll go back to the States now.
As saying, she immediately packed all her stuff and booked the flight at night back to home. On the way, she saw a familiar figure.
Chi? What is she doing here at our house at this time?
Bae, I'm here, and I brought you the thing you asked me to find in Nom's office. It surely could help our plan. Sensing something off, Ronnie followed her to a dark alley, where Chi set up a meeting with her mysterious partner.
See what you got, my sweet pie?
Veronica couldn't believe her eyes. Her brother and her crush's fake girlfriend were hooking up? What the heck happened here? You and her? Grayson and Chi looked stunned.
Why are you here?
It is as important as what I'm seeing right now? Better have a good explanation for this. They exchanged their looks, and Grayson finally gave in, telling everything to his sister.
Okay, Ronnie, listen carefully. It's me who suggested Nom to have Chi as his fake girlfriend. Actually...
What? But you two?
Yes, she's my baby girl and he has no idea.
But what for?
For his master plan, sis.
It's time you know the truth. You still remember why we're in Vietnam, right? Our resort is having a hard time, and it's all because of Nom. This resort once belonged to his family, but their poor business skills only plunged this lucrative business into chaos. And when our family revived the resort, he got jealous and did everything to put it down again. This little ungrateful brat.
No, Nam isn't that person!
Don't defend him. Don't you see when our family had a scandal? His hotel was suddenly doing better than normal? No way I let that slide easily.
It proves nothing. You cannot accuse someone without any evidence.
Fine, you want evidence? I'll find it for you. Meanwhile, if you can't be helpful, then don't sabotage my plan.
Deal! I'll leave you 1 week, and during that time, you're not gonna do anything dirty against Nam as well. The siblings set themselves in a different side on this manner. Grayson was leaving with his girlfriend, while Ronnie was standing here, trying to process everything. It had been such a hard time full of news and truths to her. Yes, the Nam I know would never do such a thing, and I will stay here to prove that my brother has been wrong about him. I hope so. Bae, don't you really let this slide just because your sister said some stupid words, do you?
No way, Bae. You know how stubborn my sis is. I only agree so that she could leave us alone. The plan sticks, Bae.
The next morning, Veronica went back to work at Nam's hotel as if nothing happened.
Oh, you're here? I thought I forced you too much that you dropped already.
No, I'm fine. Who do you think I am? Considering me a bug, and now he even thought I'm a quick quitter? Full combo, huh? Right then, Chi suddenly appeared, then threw her arms around Nam's neck and kissed him on his cheeks. Hi, Bae. What can I help you with today? Oh, hi, Ronnie. Long time no see. Seeing Chi acting shamelessly loving around Nam in front of Ronnie when she knew all the truth even irked her more. Can't underestimate this snake. What is she scheming? I'd better watch out on her. Later that day, while working near the kitchen, Veronica spotted Chi doing something fishy. Seeing Chi acting shamelessly loving around Nam in front of Ronnie when she knew all the truth even irked her more. Can't underestimate this snake. What is she scheming? I'd better watch out on her. Later that day, while working near the kitchen, Veronica spotted Chi doing something fishy. Hey, what you doing? Nothing. Veronica immediately bent down to see a wrinkled food package in a bin nearby. What? The expiration date was 2023, a year ago? Hey, why do we still have expired food here?
Oh gosh, but is it ice cream that room 302 asked for?
Right away, Ronnie asked the staff to check all of the food orders and rushed after the food trolley which was set to arrive at room 302. The news was soon to reach Nam, so he sprinted to the guest room to see Ronnie was already there.
Excuse me, miss. On behalf of the hotel, I do apologize for this inconvenience. It's on us for not training our staff well. I'll be talking to her now.
Then he dragged Ronnie into the corner.
You're ruining others' efforts due to your irresponsibility. Don't you see? If you can't do it properly, then do nothing.
His words were like thousands of daggers pierced into Ronnie's heart. Okay, now I got it. In his eyes, I was only that, shallow. Suddenly, the guests came near them. Excuse me, I know you're teaching your staff and it's not my business to interfere, but this girl wasn't the one who delivered the food earlier. But she came here and sincerely apologized to me for what she didn't do, which is much appreciated. You should reward her instead. Hearing that, Ronnie couldn't hold her tears and ran away.
Ronnie! Veronica! Sorry, I gotta go. Our manager will talk with you soon, and the hotel will offer some compensation for your trouble. Gosh, my anger got the better of me, and I hurt her once again. Where are you, Ronnie?
I was too dumb to keep chasing after him like a fool, while he didn't bother to care, and even wanted to kick me out. Okay, fine. I'll go as you wish. In the blurred vision due to teary eyes, Ronnie spotted a smirk face of Chi, the one who's behind all of this. If it hadn't been for my brother and 2 families, I would expose you already, you snake! That night, Ronnie didn't want to face Nam at the hotel, so she ran to Hoi River for some fresh air, and in front of her eyes was Hoi An with a different charm. At night, when the dark covered everything, colorful lanterns were lit up, stretching the sparkling lights in every corner of the ancient town. But the splendid view didn't color her any happier. She was glumly dragging her feet on the sidewalk when she spotted an old woman sitting on the edge of a riverbank selling floating lanterns, and her hands were shaking when she was trying to light them up. Let me help you, okay? Then she sat down and helped her kindle the candles and deliver lanterns to buyers. Seeing their faces beaming with the flickering candle lights made Ronnie unconsciously smile. It's like everyone whistles their dreams in lanterns and has the river give wings to the wishes to fly high and far away. Ronnie was immersed in her own thoughts when she accidentally burned herself. Are you okay? What? Ronnie, listen, I came to apologize to you for the misunderstanding this afternoon. I should have listened to you first. Let me help you. Don't frown like that, or you're gonna be some wrinkled old woman soon. Hey, hello, Earth to Veronica. Alright, let me show you around. We only have tomorrow here before returning to Da Nang. You will regret it if you don't go. Come on, I beg you, okay? Veronica was still in a foul mood, but unknowingly stretched her hand. They said goodbye to the old lady and walked side by side along Hoy River, but no one said anything until, "Are you gonna ignore me forever like that?" "You think I'm some annoying girl, don't you?" "Huh? Why you ask that?" No, maybe." "Then why you had to hire a fake girlfriend just to avoid me?" "What? She knew it? But how?" I'm sorry. It was the reason at first, but it turns out I was wrong about you. You have a good heart and don't deserve those things. Maybe it's too late, but I'm sorry again. I should have thought it through first."
What makes you think of me like that? It's like years ago. You suddenly slammed a door in front of me without a word, and then now turned indifferent and hateful to me. Why, Nom?
Something happened, and I'll tell you when time feels right. Please trust me. I never hate you and will never. Please tell me, what should I do for you to forgive me?
I don't know, but maybe... Padalo. Or here they call it Dap V, right? Yes, I want to try Dap V, but we're not done here.
Okay. The next day, Nom took Ronnie to Padalo as promised.
Okay, Dap is riding, V is the duck. But wait, it's clearly a swan. Why?
I don't know either. Vietnamese is complicated. Having tickets, 2 of them were waiting to be on boat, and Veronica couldn't hide her excitement. "Okay, be careful! It's flippable!"
Poof, I'm not a kid!
Then Ronnie excitedly jumped on the boat, causing it to sway from side to side, and it wobbled even more as she was being extremely panicked.
Ah! I haven't watched Stranger Things Season 5 yet! I can't die now! Nom, save me!
I told you, what? Now, take my hand! Ronnie slowly held out her hand, then Nom gently pulled her in his arms and helped her sit down. "Do you feel okay now?"
No, I'm not okay at all.
"Hey, aren't you saying you want to do Padalo? Here you go."
Ah, that's right.
Then they left the dock and started pedaling farther. Ronnie at first had some troubles in steering the boat, but with the help of Nom, she totally enjoyed this little game. "It's just like riding a bike. Simple, isn't it?"
Yeah, it's kind of an exercise, right?
"Then exercise more." And with that, they even raced against each other enthusiastically and went to the middle of the lake without knowing. "Hey, why suddenly stop?"
I feel my legs are gonna leave me soon.
Then suddenly rain started pouring down and the boat started tottering. They looked around to find that the other boats had already returned to the dock, leaving theirs alone here.
Oh my god, we had to pedal fast to the dock now! Hey, together! 1, 2, 1, 2.
But the strong wind made the boat even more wobbly. "Just wait here until the rain stops."
What? I couldn't just wait here! Anyone? Help! Help!
But Ronnie's attempt clearly turned in vain, as it only invited more people on the shore taking pictures and recording them. After a while, everything was quiet before Nom broke the silence. "Do you still recall that day back in secondary school? We snuck outside to buy a new flavor of our favorite bubble tea. It was raining hard, just like today."
You still remember that? Right, that day we were soaked like rats, just to be chased by a dog, and we ended up dropping bubble teas on the road, and even got scolded by teachers.
Then the 2 of them kept talking about the good old moments together, without noticing the rain had abated since when. Soon after, the safeguard appeared to help them return to the dock. About Ronnie and Nom, they might get wet, but more than that, they were soaked in the fresh emotions towards each other.
Nom, let's call today Duck Day. And on this day, June 6th, every year, we're gonna do Padalo again.
Sounds fun. That night, someone uploaded photos of them on the lake on the internet. It naturally became the meme of the day and received thousands of reactions.
Those comments are so funny. Nom, you read it?
But not as funny as your face. Then every night after, they kept texting each other, and it was always dawn when they finally said goodnight.
Is it too early to think about our firstborn child's name? No way Nom would do anything to harm my family. But what should I do to convince Grayson?
I've been wrong about her all the time. It was stupid of me to project my hatred towards her mom to her. Seeing this, Grayson and Chi surely didn't take it well.
Bae, what are we supposed to do now?
Just one more step away. Early the next morning, Grayson met Ronnie for some negotiation. "My baby sis, our plan needs your little help to be kicked off."
No way I help you!
Stop your silly crush. Do you really dare to betray your own family just for some jerk?
Says you! I gave you 1 week to find evidence, and now what you've got? Nothing, apart from some dirty tricks you pulled on Nom. Tell you what, I'm out!
Grayson, what now?
We don't need her. I have another plan.
A few days later, Nam's hotel suddenly got back out at night, but it wasn't the only thing out of his expectation.
Call technicals to check the grid now.
Hey you're boss here, right?
Yes, ma'am. I apologize for the accident. It might just be some minor technical problems. Please come back to your room. The electricity will soon return.
Patient? How could I be patient when your staff humiliated me?
What, ma'am?
Everything's turned pitch black and I was trying to find some receptionist. Here you are. Why cut the electricity without notice, huh? Please bring me a fan or something. I'm sweating like crazy.
You're sweating not for being hot, but for you being overweight, miss.
You're saying what?
Are you deaf? I'm saying because you're fat, miss.
So this is the way you train your staff? Right then, more and more customers came to confront Nam.
Hey, some staff snuck into my room saying to fix some wire plugs, but he stole my wallet away.
Me too. My laptop was stolen when the lights were out as well. Hotel what? It's a scam, guys.
Nam was trying to calm the guests down, but they seemed not to be in a mood for any explanations. Instead, they asked to return the room and demanded a payback.
How could this happen?
Little did he know, the mastermind was already sneakily slipping through the crowd to run away.
That's it. And now let's see how that jerk deals with this.
Nam tried to track down the staff, but he was nowhere to be seen. The hotel was plunged into turmoil. Orders came in few, and the reputation was seriously in ruin. Ronnie couldn't bear seeing that. It's definitely Grayson who's behind all of this. He's my brother, but he's wrong this time. Even if it's true Nam wanted to harm our family, there's many other ways to confront this. And she meant it. She came straight to find Grayson. It's you, right?
What are you talking about?
Don't act innocent. It's you who set up the Nam's hotel incident.
Yes, it's me. So what? This little brat has no skills in running business anyway. I just helped him realize it sooner.
You have to admit this and return the prestige to Nam's hotel.
Huh? Are you dreaming, my little sis?
Oh no, my big bro. I'm sorry to tell you that actually, I've already recorded our conversation. If you have no guts to admit, then let your little sis do it. Hey, I don't know anything about this. Don't drag me into this. Bye.
Why do you do this? I'm your brother.
That's why I want you to understand we couldn't take revenge by revenge.
Jesus, did that jerk cast a spell on you or what? Why now you still blindly trust him? It's him who made our resort stumble.
Then Nam out of the blue barged in.
Who told you I harmed your family? Here you are. If not you, then who else? Isn't it you who did this to take revenge for... Keep talking. Why stop? Take revenge for what? I've already turned a blind eye and let this slide, and now you want to dig this up? Okay, fine.
That's when Ronnie knew all the truth about her mom scheming on taking Nam's family's resort for her own possession. That's also the reason why that day he coldly left her without a word.
My mom? So my dad was also in on that?
No, your dad is totally oblivious about that. Mr. Andrews was so kind to help us with a handsome sum to start again. He's been so nice to us, so I don't want to make a fuss.
And you've known about this the whole time, but still talk about revenging? Don't you see our family is the one who should take the blame? Grayson, it's the karma we have to take. I'm so disappointed in you and Mom. Nam, I do apologize to you for all the troubles my family has caused you and your family. I will handle this ASAP.
Then Veronica asked Grayson to publicly admit his scheme and apologize to Nam.
This wasn't easy for Grayson, but I know deep down, my brother isn't a bad person.
Thanks to that, Nam's hotel resumed working smoothly as before. After that, Ronnie and her brother came back to the States and told the truth to their dad.
What? You've been doing this behind my back the whole time? You know what? We're more brothers to each other. When I had nothing, it's him who helped to lift me up, and now you requite evil with good?
Mrs. Andrews was perplexed, as this was the first time she saw her husband this mad. She admitted her wrongdoings, and a few days later suggested they come back to Vietnam to apologize to Nam's family. And of course, they couldn't believe in what they were just told. They kept silent for a while, then...
To be honest, this news is totally strange to me. But it's all the past now. Let's end here once and for all.
And after everything, the siblings finally found themselves on the same side in the matter.
I was about to tell you before, but not until now do I have courage. But thank you, Ronnie. You might not believe it. If it hadn't been you and the recording, I might not have been able to awake from the nightmare of revenge and then admit my wrongdoings. I was foolish to let hatred and jealousy cloud my judgments and act silly. But thanks to Nam's big heart and your righteousness, I now learn my own lessons. And hey, he might be a good brother-in-law, sis.
How could it happen when our families and me alone caused too many troubles to his family and him? 2 years later, now Veronica's worked for her family business as Grayson's assistant. One day, when going back to home after a tiring working day, she got a message from a strange number. What's this? This is creepy. Anyways, today is June 6th, so what? Oh my, is it? Veronica hurriedly outside to see Nom already there, holding a big bouquet. Ready? Ready. Why you suddenly? Oh no. See, what takes you so long?
Oh, pardon me, princess. It's hard to find a pedalo, a true Dap V in the States.
I'd just finished my shift and was walking out of the coffee shop to head home when I suddenly heard a voice say, "Hi, are you Catherine Mill?" Ugh, what else? I'm exhausted already. I reluctantly turned around to a view that almost made me leap out of my skin. Standing in front of me was a girl with a face exactly like mine. Who are you?" I stammered. I felt like I was seeing things. She smiled at me and said, "I'm Tracy. Is this wallet yours?" Oh, wow, you found it! I dropped it at the Seattle Mariners baseball game. I never thought I'd see it again. That's right. We met there. Then Tracy took out a cap and put it on. Hang on. That hat seemed so familiar. And so did that smile. Are you the one I accidentally bumped into at the stadium? That must have been when I dropped my wallet. I was in such a hurry to get to my seat that I'd gone crashing into Tracy. At the time, she was wearing that cap, so all I saw was her smile. But now seeing her standing here, it was like looking in the mirror. I kept staring at her as she said, "Yep, that was me. In fact, I came to find you not just to return your wallet, but because I need a favor. Can we chat for a sec?" Sure. Let's go back inside the cafe." What favor could she possibly want? Well, I was about to find out. "Catherine, I'm just going to say it outright. We have something in common, don't we?" I hesitated to speak up, but I knew exactly what she was talking about. She then continued, "I mean, look at us. You're basically my doppelganger, which brings me to this favor to ask for. Kathy, I was hoping you'd impersonate me. I'll pay you, of course. I'll pay you a lot." Before I could even reply, Tracy handed me an envelope and showed me a photo of some very posh-looking people. "This is my family," she said. Wait, what? Turns out they were royals, or something close to. Her grandfather had been an earl in the UK, and then they'd moved over here to Washington. They're what you'd call an aristocratic family. So, yep, mega wealthy. Must be nice, I thought. However, it was suffocating Tracy, and that all of the duties that came with being from a family of nobility drove her crazy. Plus, one other little problem. She was in love with a guy that her family definitely wouldn't approve of, because he came from a normal family. Her parents had arranged for her to marry the son of one of the country's richest CEOs. And so that's what led us to now. She wanted to hire me to pretend to be her, so that she could be with her lover boy without troubles. I was stunned. "What if someone finds out?" I muttered, and shoved the envelope back into her hands, saying that it was too much money. But Tracy just laughed. "Oh, this is just the initial payment. You'll receive so much more. Please, I'm begging you. Think about it." Then she looked at me with proper sadness in her eyes. I really did feel sorry for her, but I needed some time, and it would be better to get my mom's opinion on this first. Ever since I'd been a little girl, I'd always talked things through with her. She was the only family I had, and the only one I could trust and rely on. Mom would know what to do. When I got home, I found my mom waiting for me at the table. We ate dinner together in silence, as I could barely focus. She knew something was up right away. "Honey, what happened at work?" I hesitated, then handed her the photo of Tracy's family. My mom, as you can guess, was shocked to see how much Tracy looked like me, and so I told her what had gone down earlier. I explained that she offered me a ton of money to impersonate her, but that it felt risky.
I'd assumed my mom would be dead set against it, but what she said surprised me. That poor girl. Indeed, how people always say it's not as fun as it looks being too wealthy. But hey, a bit of extra money in your pocket couldn't hurt. I mean, you could use it to pay for your vocal training. And at the same time, you'd help Tracy, so that she can be with her true love. Yeah, becoming a singer had been a lifelong dream of mine, but because of money struggles, I'd had to put that aside. Mom's right. This was my chance. I had to take it. So I called Tracy to seal the deal. She was over the moon about it, and we arranged to meet the next day to start preparing. I thought I'd just have to learn all of her favorite things and maybe borrow some of her clothes so that I didn't get caught out. But no, there was a whole lot more to it than that. For starters, I had to take etiquette classes. Can you even believe? That first day, I had lessons on how to walk properly. They legitimately did put books on my head to improve my posture. And then came the elocution lessons to teach me how to speak more clearly. Seriously, was this Princess Diaries or what? But the best part, though, was her wardrobe. Wow, her outfits were to die for. Now that's what gave me the urge to dive into the royal life now. Everything was going well until we sat down to go through all of her likes and dislikes. Her dislikes were about a mile long. Oh man, Tracy was one fussy girl. I mean, who didn't like pizza? I basically lived off the stuff. Plus, she was vegan, gluten-free, and had a nut allergy. What did she even eat? But despite that, we got through the week. Every morning I had my etiquette classes, which now were easy peasy. I could totally pull it off as a high society girl. And then in the afternoons, I hung with Tracy and learned everything I could about her. By the end of the week, we got all things set and ready for the swap. So Tracy and I went out to celebrate. "Catherine, look at our faces," she said while squinting her eyes. I took a closer look at the phone screen and gotta admit, despite being pretty identical, there were still some differences between us. Sure, her cheekbones were more prominent, and her nose was slightly upturned, but with a bit of makeup, I could fix that, right? Tracy wasn't convinced, though. "Listen, I think you're going to need to get plastic surgery." Wait, I wasn't ready for any of that, but on second thought, I guess that would be all right, as it'd only make me prettier, which would totally help with my singing career. So I went under the knife. Not only my nose and cheekbones were fixed, but they also added a birthmark to my shoulder to match the one Tracy had. I looked like an Egyptian mummy with all my bandages on, coming out of the operating room. But when the day came to remove them, I was amazed. Just a little touch-up could make me look this incredible. I twirled around in front of the mirror in one of Tracy's glitzy dresses and just smiled. We were totally going to pull this off. Tracy was even more excited than me. She turned to me and said, "Ready for the family party?" Oh, wow. So my first mission had arrived already. I nervously looked at Tracy, and she just giggled and said, "Oh, don't be nervous. It's just my cousin's baby's first birthday party. No big deal. Although Thomas's whole family will be there. That's the family I'm meant to marry into." Okay, now I was even more worried. Tracy told me to simply do what I learned in the classes. As for Thomas, she instructed me to just ignore him, as that's what she usually did. He was used to the cold shoulder. Well, the moment I arrived at the party, I was already so overwhelmed. I couldn't believe my eyes. Her cousin's house was basically a palace with butlers and a grand staircase as you entered, just like in the movies. I almost had to pinch myself that I was even there. As I walked in, one of the butlers asked me to follow him through to the banquet hall. A banquet hall? How insane! There were crystal chandeliers hanging from every part of the ceiling, and the room looked like it was literally made from gold. I noticed Tracy's dad standing in the middle of the room with a young couple and a baby. That would be Tracy's cousin, and the baby was obviously the reason this insane party had been thrown. I took a deep breath, gathered myself, and walked towards them in the way my etiquette teacher had taught me. I greeted them casually, and it seemed no one sensed anything weird. Not even Tracy's dad. However, I was still afraid someone would realize. So I grabbed a glass of wine and went to stand in the corner just to be safe. While I was fiddling with the glass and trying not to make eye contact with anyone, a guy came up to me and clinked my glass. Oh boy! The coolest, most handsome guy ever was standing there grinning at me. I smiled back at him politely, trying not to blush, and then I realized, wasn't he Thomas and Tracy, the happy couple? Suddenly I heard Tracy's dad from a few feet away, speaking towards us. You two look exquisite together. Be good to him now, Tracy, won't you? Yep, it's Thomas, the fiancé that Tracy doesn't like at all. Okay, so I need to act cold towards him, otherwise I'll ruin everything for Tracy. But heck, he was just so good looking. I quickly walked away towards the dessert table and started stuffing my face with some almond cookies, anything to distract myself from Thomas. As I picked up a third one, I heard Thomas scream, and the next moment he was running over to me shouting, Tracy, put it down! There are nuts in those! I dropped the cookie in shock. Right. I was supposed to be allergic to these delicious snacks. Totally forgot that. Gosh, I turned around to see all eyes were on me. This was a disaster. I was like a deer in the headlights. Didn't know what else to do. I pretended to faint. Thomas immediately carried me somewhere while others called the family doctor. I only took a peek when I felt like I was let down on a bed. And wow, even their guest room is gorgeous. Anyway, the doctor did some quick checkup and said I was okay. Well, obviously. Then Thomas rushed over, holding my hand and kept saying, Thank God you're okay, baby. Really? How come Tracy didn't like him? He was so sweet. He was looking at me so lovingly. Wait, at Tracy, actually. Oh boy, this was getting weird. Guess I have started off this mission on the wrong foot. But having that first incident actually helped me become more careful, so I've been getting better and better at playing Tracy. I was like a secret agent that would be summoned by duty at any sec. Sometimes you'd find me as a princess, other times I'd be waiting tables. My life was getting busier, but much more fun in some senses. Then one day, Tracy suddenly appeared at my door, looking all loved up. How strange it was. Usually she only contacted me over the phone. Then she said, Kathy, I have a big mission for you. As she sat down, she put a bulging envelope on the table and said, Kathy, sweetie, I need a big favor this time. So, here's the thing. Me and Arnold are going to Asia for a month, and, I was wondering if you could maybe move into my house and cover for me? I was shocked. A month? That's quite a long time. I mean, surely I'll get caught. Oh, I'm not sure, Tracy. I tried to avoid her eye contact, but she kept begging and looking like she was about to cry. Oh, God. What should I do? Guys, please give me some advice. And stay tuned. I'll be back with part 2 to tell you how things go down. Why do I have uneasy feelings about all this?
All roads were blocked by snow. No one in their right mind would go outside in this weather. But that banging on the door still persisted and was only getting louder and louder. Could it be Yeti? I hugged my blanket and willed it to stop. But of course it didn't. I couldn't sleep in this frantic noise either, so Yeti or no Yeti, I needed to go check it out. So I crept over to the door. A rush of panic swam through me, as with a shaking hand I slightly opened it. Huh? Trevor? Yep, it wasn't any snowy monster. It was Trevor, about to faint from the cold, but his hands were still holding tightly onto something. Trembling, he said, Here you go. Put on some more clothes. You'll catch a cold. Then he passed me my suitcase. Oh, God, you're crazy, Trevor. You are the one who's catching all the cold right now. I immediately sat him down on the couch and placed the blanket around him, then quickly opened my suitcase. Here they are, my secret weapon. Heat packs. I gave him some and got him another coat that wasn't covered in snow. Here, drink this first. I'll go make you a cup of cocoa. I began pouring him a cup of warm water out of my thermal bottle, but he stopped me. Power, out. He shivered out. Well, that explained why it felt like a freezer in here. And no more hot cocoa then. Hey, so I'm Autumn, and this is part 2 of my story. If you haven't seen part 1, you should go and check it out. Don't be fooled by my name. It was definitely winter here in Texas. And this storm was insane. Shame I was stuck in a holiday cottage with my treacherous best friend Lillian, her lying twin Seth, and his secret girlfriend Charlie. Ugh. Turns out, Lillian just wanted my Chicago clothes, and everyone, besides Trevor, was in on it. Back to Trevor. And I didn't want his death on my watch, so I rubbed his arms in a bid to defreeze him. When he looked like he'd thawed out a little, I raised an eyebrow and asked him, "Why did you go outside in this?" Well, the power went out. I knew it'd be Antarctica for you in here without a heater, so I wanted to go get you the suitcase. But I ended up locked out, so I had no choice but to wake you up to get in. I'm sorry. What are you sorry about? It was just a little dumb of you. After that, we chatted about stuff. To be honest, I was super touched by what he did. While everyone was still deep asleep, here he was, thinking about me and risking his life to help me. Okay, so maybe I was a little harsh to him earlier when he confessed that he liked me. But hey, that could still just be him trolling me. I mean, I have a valid reason not to trust anyone under this roof anymore. I guess I must have fallen asleep as, the next morning, I woke up to Lillian frantically shaking me. Hey! Wake up! We're in big trouble! Oh, so they'd finally noticed the power was out. I passed everyone jackets and heat packs from my suitcase. Look, guys, layering up in these conditions is vital. Then I looked at Seth and Trevor. Even if that does mean wearing my pink pom-pom hat and squeezing into my rainbow-padded coat. We couldn't help but burst out laughing. At least there's something fun to brighten up the situation. Then we started prepping to face this apocalypse. And I was the captain. Because, hey, I'm the one who had the most experience with snow around here. Time was of the essence, so I quickly went to check the faucet. Luckily, the water was still running, though the flow was a little weak. Quick, get anything that can contain water. We should store as much as we can before the pipes freeze up. Ugh, look at Seth and Charlie, being all playful and flirty, forming a bucket brigade, with Lillian too. What a thorn in the eyes. So I threw them some towels I'd found and ordered them to go windproof all the doors and windows instead, as Trevor could handle this water storage thing alone. Meanwhile, I checked on our food situation. Fortunately, we've brought enough for 2 days, but it's all frozen now, and we had to ration the food in moderation, as who knows how long this lockdown could be. Hey, should we try using that fireplace? It's freezing, even with these jackets on. Yeah, Seth, why don't you figure it out? Then we started cleaning up all the stuff in front of the fireplace, so Seth could give it a try. But oh boy, what did I expect? The most he managed to make was black smoke. Forget it. This is probably just a decorative fireplace. Y'all so dumb. Then Trevor appeared out of the basement with an armful of wood. No, for sure it's usable. Look, I even found wood and coal stored here. Let me try. He knelt down in front of the fireplace and started clearing the blockage to the chimney. After some time, it worked. Whoa, we had fire! We all whooped and jumped about like lunatics. Then Lillian wrapped her arms around Trevor's neck and kissed him on the cheek. Blushing, he immediately wiped it off with his hand, which then left some coal stains on his face. It was so funny. Trevor was our true hero again. While Seth... Well, thank God I didn't have a crush on that loser anymore. Poor Charlie. Have fun being stuck with that useless dude. Thanks to Trevor, we now had a fire to keep warm and to cook our food on. So we'd be fine, right? Oh no! My phone's dead! Just when I think I caught a tiny bit of signal.
Gimme! Don't you know we can charge your phone with fruits?
Seth grabbed Lillian's phone and charger and took them into the kitchen. Now that's strange. He has never looked so enthusiastic doing anything helpful during the past 2 days. He was probably trying to save his face after losing to Trevor so many times. Ha! I watched on with amusement as Seth stabbed the charger into a banana. What did I ever see in this guy again? Trevor burst out laughing, and Charlie sighed, then went off to prepare soup for dinner. Lillian folded her arms and pouted. So? Hurry up! Seth grunted, then fiercely stabbed the charger into the poor banana several more times. Jeez, it was so dumb, and too funny to stop him. Spirit, it won't work! Ugh, you ruined my charger and wasted our food! I wish I could just throw you out into the storm! Seth shoved the mashed banana into his mouth.
Who told you it's wasted? This is my dinner!
Then he sulked off into the corner and covered himself with a blanket. Hilarious! Hey, don't worry. I have a power bank in my room. I'll go get it. Oh, sweet! You're indeed my knight in shining armor. Always come and save me in time. She winked, then hugged his arms. He quickly looked at me, then shook her off of him. What was that for? Was he serious when he said he liked me? He rejected Lillian more than twice. And to be honest, I did have this tingling feeling whenever there were only 2 of us in the room. I don't know anymore. Later that night, we decided to all gather in front of the fireplace to sleep, as it's the only warm place in the house. So me and the other girls went to the bedrooms to get the mattresses and blankets. Well, anything useful, really. OMG, my brother's such a loser. Lillian laughed as she picked up her pillow. Charlie smirked. Tell me about it. He actually stabbed a banana to death. The poor banana, I chuckled. Joking around with them actually felt kinda good. We were stuck in this house together till God knows when, so maybe I should stop being bitter towards them. Besides, I was totally over that useless loser Seth now anyway. Even Charlie wasn't on his side. We set up a cozy base in the living room and spent the next few days riding out the storm. On a few occasions, Lillian tried snuggling up to Trevor with some excuse about raising body heat, but he just shuffled away from her. So in the end, she made us all do cardio workouts, which did the trick, and it was really funny to watch each other struggle to do star jumps with 500 layers of clothes on. Charlie also taught us to play some card games to pass the time, such as solitaire and go fish, which I'm now a pro at. Seth and Trevor even picked up a new hobby of wood carving. But so far, I still couldn't tell what their artworks were supposed to be yet. And finally, after 4 days of isolation, the storm seemed to weaken. We started to get stable phone signal back, and we called our parents right away to update them on the situation. They said they would come pick us up as soon as possible. We were all so happy, and also proud of ourselves. We'd survived this crazy storm. So, you're probably thinking this is the happy ending? Not so fast. When we were all FaceTiming Lillian and Seth's parents, their mom suddenly said to Charlie, "Thank you so much for helping us keep an eye on the kids. We'll definitely add a nice bonus onto your salary this month." We were all stunned. I don't even know if it's for the same reason, but why was Seth's mom paying his girlfriend? Lillian clumsily said goodbye to her mom and ended the call immediately, then tried to clear up the atmosphere with her fake laugh. Y'all know how my mom loves to give her dear nieces and nephews some extra pocket money whenever she sees them. Okay, what are we having for lunch today, guys? Just stop it. I know your secret already. Charlie and Seth are a couple, aren't they? But why is your mom paying her? That's sick. Lillian, Seth, and Charlie all shouted out in unison, "What?" Lillian gave me a questioning look. Autumn, what are you talking about? Yeah, I'm sorry for lying to you, but no, Charlie is not Seth's girlfriend. She's our tutor. Liar? If so, then why did you have to hide it? My parents didn't trust us staying in this place by ourselves, so they asked Charlie to supervise. And come on, we're 16. We don't need a babysitter. That's embarrassing. Yeah, I thought it's just a harmless lie, so I agreed to go along with them. I mean, we still had fun together, right? But who told you we were a couple? I was about to reply, but then Trevor dragged me to another room while saying to the others, "She needs to calm down first. Let me take care of this." Now we were alone. I gave him an "I'm waiting" look. Okay, hear me out first, okay? I nodded, then he sighed and continued. Lillian does like you, and she did actually want to help you get with Seth, but he wasn't interested. So she promised him a month's worth of pocket money to stay here. I didn't really buy it, but let's see what else he's got. Okay then, but that doesn't change the fact that Seth and Charlie had something going on. Duh. That kiss? Actually, that wasn't real. I just dared Seth to do it. Charlie really is just their tutor. What was he talking about? I felt like the room started spinning. Look, I really do like you, Autumn, and I know I should never have lied about stuff, but it was only so you'd give me a chance. Only, Lillian now thinks I like her, and I never meant to give her the wrong impression. How dare he trick me like that? So I screamed at him. I will never, ever like you! Your actions have just made me hate you even more! Thanks to him, I misjudged Lillian, Charlie, and Seth. Although, to be honest, Seth might not have been a liar, but he was still so not my type. Trevor gave me this disheartened look as he stared down at the ground. Then he muttered out a, "Sorry." I didn't want to hear any more of his pathetic apologies, so I huffed my way out of there and sat on the freezing porch until my parents finally arrived. After that, things went back to normal. School resumed. Lillian and I are the best of friends, and she now calls me her snowstorm bestie. Aww. As for Trevor, I now avoid him as much as possible. I know he stares over at me at school. I can feel his gaze on me. But as soon as I look in his direction, he quickly turns away. I guess I do like him, okay? I don't agree with what he did, but I've got to admit, it sure takes a witty, imaginative guy to come up with a plan like that on the spot. Okay, fine. I'll give him another chance and see where things go. And if there's ever another snowstorm, well, then I suppose he's a handy guy to have around.